Hi, my name is Dave Hammer, and I'm the Scholarship Officer at the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. I'm here with Patty Salo Downs, and we are talking scholarship season starts today. Let me give it to Patty for a second while I set up this PowerPoint.
When we talk about scholarships, we're talking about any type of schooling beyond high school. So don't tune out. It's not just four-year degree or Associate of Arts degree. There are scholarships for the trades and other types of careers that people are interested in pursuing.
There's our information between Patty and I. We give away about $2 million a year, and we are here today to talk to you about how to get a part of that. So there's, like Patty said, a lot of different money out there for a lot of different programs, and it's all scholarships. And Patty's foundation, my foundation, we've been given money with instructions to give it away to students for future education, and it's free money. It's not the money that you need to pay back after you graduate. You don't want to be one of the people that graduates with $31,000 in debt. Seek out the free money while you have an opportunity.
So why scholarships? It opens opportunities. You get to attend college with less stress and more success because you have money to help you pay for tuition, books, housing, those kinds of things. Many students would not be able to afford the extras without the scholarship. For example, study abroad. You might be able to do like the snowmobile challenge, you know, those kinds of groups that you can participate in and build up your resume with real hands-on experiences. You can focus time on your studies. Let's say you're planning to go on to med school and you need to get good grades. So those are some of the reasons why it's good to find the money to help you pay for school so you don't have those stressing points taken away from your studies. It also helps students to attend their first choice of school. So many times they say, because of this scholarship, I get to go to a college that I was dreaming of attending. It also lets you explore your interests. So if you're not sure what major you want to pursue, you got a little bit of cushion there, and you can take a semester or two and explore other majors without feeling too much stress. And lastly, it's like the recognition for all your hard work during high school, and it also helps students to believe in themselves. When you're pulling an all-nighter studying for a test or having a paper due the next day, knowing that 8 people on a committee believe in you and your future is pretty good motivation to stay up and get that done.
Absolutely.
So here's the Alworth Scholarship. This is a STEM-focused scholarship. It is merit-based, and we're looking for students with a specific interest in math and science fields of studies. We have a list on our website, but it may not be complete. So if your major is not listed among those, call us and ask us if we can pursue looking at that field that you want to pursue, and we can let you know if it is something we would fund. Cumulative GPA is really one of the markers, 3.5 or higher. We were requiring an ACT test score. Mr. Alworth wanted students of high academic ability, so we had those 2 numbers, but now it's for this year, because the test, so many ACT testing opportunities have been canceled, we are not requiring an ACT test score. If you have it, please, we'll want it, but it won't be a criteria for getting into the book of applicants for review. There's also a taxable income limitation. Mr. Alworth, you know, wanted to fund students who had financial need, and we determined that by using the IRS 1040.
All right. So Patty's scholarship has these criteria, this set of criteria, and she gives away 70 scholarships with these set of criteria. The Community Foundation does it differently. We have a whole bunch of different scholarships. Many of them give away 1 or 2 or 5 awards, and we have 70. And therefore, they have different criteria. And this is the list of scholarships for students from Lake County. This is the list of scholarships for people from Hermantown High School. And there's 20 different lists just like this on my website. So find my website there, get onto the tips and eligibility page within the scholarship section, and find your grid for your different institution or your different county. And then go through it row by row, column by column, and figure out what scholarships you can apply for. There's an eligibility quiz on my website, and you can kind of use the two together, the grid and the quiz, and you can figure out which scholarships you can work the quiz a little bit better if you know what the different scholarships are off the grid. So that's kind of what I recommend students do, is find the grid, then work the quiz. If you have any questions about that, then just give me a call. And then start working the application once you know what you want to apply for.
So what typically is asked for on a scholarship application is academics, GPA, test scores, things like that, activities, awards, and leadership, recommendations, letters of recommendation from teachers or people you work for. Essays are a critical part, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then, of course, financial need. Academics, transcripts, we request those directly from the school. Our deadline for submission is January 15th. After the 15th, we have a list of names of students from each school. We send that off to the counselors, and they provide that information because we want to see the grades and courses taken through the fall semester. Test scores, like I said before, not required in 2020-21 application cycle.
All right, so I wanted to quickly say, if you're applying for a college age scholarship from the Community Foundation, we need your transcript, official transcript from the registrar, but high school age scholarships will get them right from their school. Regarding activities, volunteering, and work, that's 3 different sections of most scholarship applications, and we really want to emphasize that everything you do is important. Please give us a good, thorough list of what you've been up to. The committee wants to know how you've been spending your time, and it's important because that's one of the things that they're looking at when they're making these decisions. Activities, I'm assuming you're not going to forget your main sport or whatever that is that you're up to, but know that volunteering and work are just as important. There's a spot on our application for shoveling your neighbor's walk. There's a spot on the application for babysitting your little brothers and sisters. All of those things we want to know about. We want to know how you've been spending your time. Another thing about those activities or those recommendations, regarding the activities and the letters of recommendation section together, we get a letter of recommendation once in a while that says, Mary was a wonderful captain of the golf team. But then you look back at Mary's section, the activities section that Mary herself filled out, and it doesn't mention golf. And that kind of question mark, and that produces a question mark in the committee member's head. They're wondering, is this Mary's letter of recommendation, or did Mary slack through this application, or what's going on here? And you don't want that in your application. You want, wonderful, oh, Mary's great, this is amazing. Let's give her the scholarship type process as they read through it. So make sure you're thorough when you're filling out those sections.
Letters of recommendation, another important part of our selection process. My foundation, the Alworth, one letter from a math and science teacher that's really important to remember. If a student has a band teacher, English teacher submit a letter, that application does not get any further consideration. David, on the other hand, letters of recommendation it varies across the map on your scholarship, the different scholarships that you have, but the operative word is ask now. Ask as soon as possible because teachers need time to write a good letter. We're asking teachers who can provide a thoughtful response about you as a student. We don't need a list of activities that's already on your application. And we're also, love to hear those stories about your improvements. Maybe 9th grade was a little wobbly, but 10th, 11th, and 12th, you became one of the top students in the class. Those kind of turnaround stories are really important to include.
Then the details about the actual request process. When you type the letter writer's name and email address into our sites, an email automatically goes out to that person. So you want to have asked personally first before you type their name into the site, because flip-flopping those around is backward for sure, if not rude. And you get a nicer letter if you've asked and gotten an okay before you do that. Essays are another important part of our application, and since they are so important, we want to make sure that you put a good, solid effort into this process. For many of my committee members, it's the first thing they zone in on, or for some people, it's the last thing they zone in on. It can be the tiebreaker, it can be the first thing that people think about. So please produce something good. These are some of the questions out there on the application. My application, there are 4 questions out there. You need to think and select 2 and write on those 2. These are just some of the questions that are out there. And once you've decided what questions you're going to write on, ask around for ideas. What I say is this information, doesn't need to come exclusively out of your brain. So talk to grandma, talk to your teacher, talk to your friends. Ask them how you should answer this question. Get some ideas from them, brainstorm a little bit, and then work on a draft. Get a draft done, and then get it proofed a couple times, 3, 4, 5 times. Make a couple people help polish it up, make it look really good, and make sure there are no grammar errors, no spelling errors, no nothing like that. Those are the things that kind of push essays to the no pile, and you don't want that. This year, for the first time, then also, the Community Foundation is looking for a video. It's a short video. There are 2 questions out there on the application. Find the 2 questions, select one of them, and then make me a 2 or 3, or even a little bit less, shorter video of what your answer to that question. You want it good, so write a script, practice it a couple times, and then finally sit down and record.
And something that you need to really focus on is be the real you. Tell your story. You know, put your passion in for your field of study. Why do you want to spend all this time and money for the sake of what? What do you want to see changed in the world, or where do you see your interests and abilities serving, you know, the country and the world? Those are some things that you may want to include in your essay. Remember that if you're bored writing it, the committee will be bored reading it. So put some zest and passion. And if you're more of a kind of just the facts person kind of writer, that's good. But you know, that extra set of eyes and having someone proof it, maybe a word or 2, they can suggest an adjective or some other detail, will make your essay even better. So get that feedback like David is suggesting, and think beyond I'm a hard worker. That's a real common answer or response for essays, and we really don't encourage that. And if you are a hard worker, which more than likely you are, you might say, I have demonstrated my hardworking ways. And then you give us examples and how you feel that that will help you be successful in college. Be concise, choose your words carefully, and don't procrastinate. We have our essays on our website, and right away, go there, get them, download them, start thinking about them, and get that feedback. And it might take about 6 to 7 different drafts before you get the essay that you want to submit. And that effort shows when we read them. So take time with this and do a good job.
Another part of most applications is perhaps, well, probably half of mine require financial need documentation. And what you need to submit for Patty's scholarship is the IRS 1040 form. She's looking probably for the 2019 form, but in circumstances where things have changed, should take 2020. If you let her know by the application deadline, and then get it to her by March 1st. She's looking for taxable, which is different from gross and adjusted gross. So look for the right one, make sure it's under 125K, and get it to her. The Community Foundation does it differently. We are looking for the SAR report. You send in a FAFSA to the government sends you back a SAR. And that's what we need. Turn that into a PDF and then upload it as another part of your application.
Okay, so paint your full picture. This is really important. Find a spot on the application where you could perhaps explain a little more detail about what your life was like in school. For example, if you needed to work versus participating in school activities, that is something that is important to tell us. For my own personal experience, I lived far from school. So at the end of the day, I needed to be on the bus, and that meant I wasn't able to be in a lot of after school activities. Any financial or medical hardships or anything else that gives us a sense of what your life has been like and what you've been dealing with and how you've managed to work around that perhaps.
All right. And then, of course, get it in on time. Super, super, super important to get it in by January 15th at 11:59 p.m. Patty and I are both real firm on that, and we can tell lots of sob stories about the person who sends us an email on January 16th at 12:02 or 12:15 and says, "My computer crashed. Please accept my application late." And the answer is always no. So I would say do it early. Get it not done right now. Get it done before winter break. Get it done during winter break so that when you come back, you can either be enjoying your holidays or be enjoying that first semester, first week back of the new year. Don't leave it until the last minute.
So applying for scholarships is the most efficient way to earn money to help you pay for school. The example on the slide there shows that if you are awarded the Alworth, and let's say it takes you 2, perhaps 4 hours of work to fill out your application, and you get the congratulations letter next spring, you just made anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 per hour. That is efficient and it's substantial. And keep in mind, small scholarships add up to, and they are worth your time to submit them. They may not be as involved application process wise as some of the more higher dollar amount scholarships, but it is definitely worth your time. And keep in mind, once you get those good essays written, those are cut and paste, recyclable in other applications, so the process the time that it takes will shorten up.
So we're kind of coming to an end here, but we just both want to make sure you understand that there is a lot of money out there for you in college. Mr. Alworth started a ball rolling back in 1949, and that has grown and grown and grown, and there are tons of scholarships out there in our area for high school seniors as well as people already in college. So spend some time, find the money, and apply for these different scholarships. I can give you other various pieces of advice, but talk to your counselor if you're in high school already. Talk to them regularly, find out where their lists of scholarships are, and find it, and approach that list and figure out that list regularly. There are deadlines throughout the year between now and when you graduate from high school, but really when you graduate from college. Keep after it, find the sources of different money and keep after it. It's a good idea to check out other high school websites. This is an impossible thing for one person to organize. So your counselor could very well be very much on the ball, but they can't get them all. So find out the other scholarships at different places and be on that. Google searches and just nationwide searches, I'm not a big fan of that. There's just an amazing amount of information that comes in, kind of blows you away, and you don't get anything accomplished. And also, those national searches are very, very, very competitive. Patty's scholarship is $20K. 70 people are going to win. Roughly 200 people apply. If you meet the qualifications for that scholarship, you got a 1 in 3 chance of winning. Seriously good. Coca-Cola, same $20K. 50 people are going to apply, so 50 people are going to win. In other words, less people are going to win, and 150,000 people apply. It doesn't take a whole lot of math brain power to understand that the local scholarships are where the money is. And get on this process and start today.
I'd like to talk about 2 great examples of students who were able to do what David and I are saying, find your scholarships, put in your applications for them, and see how it plays out. One student from ESCO several years ago, she researched, found 15 scholarships. She received 10 of them. One of them was the Alworth, and she had over $80,000 in her hip pocket to help her pay for school. That is a substantial chunk of change. Another student told me that his dad made him sit down at his computer for 2 days and fill out applications. And much to his surprise, he thought he wasn't scholarship material. The student didn't. And so much to his surprise, he received an $18,000 in scholarships to help him pay for school. So sometimes even just taking 2 days and just focusing on scholarships may be a really good strategy, because that young man just earned $9,000 per day. And his dad was pretty happy too.
All right, so here are, I hope you found the information in today's video really useful, but we have a couple more info sessions coming up. As we get nearer and nearer the deadline, we expect these are going to be more question and answer sessions rather than presentations like we're doing today. But there's one on December 17th, another one on January 5th. Patty and I are also, of course, more than eager to answer individual questions. They come by email, they come by phone call. We're happy to do it either way. So please, please, please get on this process right away. We appreciate your time today.
Yeah, go for the gold. Thank you.